Hello everyone, Fancy here, you're watching Fantavision, and today we are discussing the, I'd like to say, wonky looking Grand Theft Auto Definitive Edition Trilogy. It's a really long name for this thing, but I mean it makes sense, and it's been a long time since we've seen these three games. Of course, before I continue, please do like the video, it really does help, and subscribe for more content. So a lot of people have quite a few different takes on exactly how they feel about this new Trilogy remaster, because there's a lot of cool things about it, like the fact that it's existing again, and there's also some things like the fact that it's $60. Now, some people are going to say that the price is okay at $60 because it's three different games that have all been remastered, and that would make it about $20 a piece, but at the same time, are they really still worth $20 a piece? If we're looking at the graphics just by themselves, they don't look bad, honestly. I think they look interesting, to say the least. And that's where that wonky bit also comes into play with that title, because they look a little off. Some of the characters look fine, some look a little weird. And I don't mind what they've done with the graphics. It just doesn't feel... It feels more Saints Row than Grand Theft Auto, if that makes sense. And I understand what they were doing. They were trying to keep the same basic shape of the character models. They were trying to keep the same personality. They were trying to keep the general feeling of the older games. And I get that, and I like that, but at the same time, it looks like a really good mod. And that's probably why Rockstar started cracking down on the modding community prior to the release of this game. For a long time, it didn't seem like Rockstar really cared what mods people put into their games, and the remaster mods, and all these different groundbreaking graphic overhauls of their games. They didn't really seem to care. And then suddenly, when they were working on a product of their own, then it was a problem. And I don't think Rockstar has ever been like an amazing company. I've never looked at Rockstar and went, you know what? That's a great company right there. I respect that company. I mean, I liked their games, but I never looked at them as like an amazing company when it came to caring about their customers. I mean, back in the day, maybe because Red Dead Redemption had amazing DLC, Grand Theft Auto 4, again, big, giant chunks of DLC for the campaign, and then right after all those happened, GTA 5 came out, and they stopped caring. They filled it with microtransactions, they filled Red Dead Online with microtransactions, and it became a mess. Of course, lots of things have come out about Rockstar themselves and how they treat their employees, but that's another topic for another day. But it sucks that they went after these creators that love their product and made all these graphical overhauls just so they could release their own product, and basically pulled a Nintendo. I mean, we've seen Nintendo go after countless creators making things based off of Nintendo IPs, even though they were just something they released for free, and it was just because they enjoy their products. And what's also weird is that they cracked down on all these mods and everything, and yet I still feel like they would have sold a lot of copies of this game. You know, I mean, a lot of people are really excited for it, and a lot of people aren't going to download mods. I mean, look at Skyrim. I mean, how many times have people bought Skyrim, even the, like, definitive graphical update version, even though there were graphical update mods already? It just doesn't make sense why these companies flex their legal muscle when really they don't have to. And it makes them look better not doing it. Now, there are a few extra things that I think will make the trilogy at least worth $40 in my opinion, and that's the fact that they added Grand Theft Auto 5's shooting and controls and all of that. So we're not going to get those terrible controls of the past. I mean, let's be honest, the shooting in those old games was terrible. The controls were functional at best. But now with modernized controls, it's going to be a lot better and a lot more fun experience. The Switch is even going to let you use the gyroscope controls. I don't know who would want to do that, but for those out there that do, I guess you can now. Now, if you're not willing to pay $60 for the game, like myself, you can kind of get a taste of it from Game Pass, because they're going to be including the San Andreas Definitive Edition on Game Pass. And if you have a PlayStation and you have PlayStation Now, they'll be including Grand Theft Auto 3 in that membership. Where's Vice City and why is it not on any of the memberships? Well, it certainly isn't going to be on Nintendo because Nintendo doesn't give you anything. I guess that's the main draw that they feel most people want this pack for. I feel like San Andreas and Vice City are the two main games that most people are really excited about with this pack. And the fact that Xbox is getting San Andreas Definitive Edition, I mean, I'm going to have plenty of time to play with that before I go and buy the Trilogy for the Switch or something, because I mean, that game's huge. So that was the one I was really excited about playing, and Vice City, of course. But 3, you know, like, I grew up with this Trilogy, and I am excited. But I'm excited for the one that I haven't played as much of, and that's San Andreas. And that's the one that's included in Game Pass, so I don't have to worry about spending that $60 day one, even if I want to experience that one game. Another quick thing I wanted to add to this video that I thought about while I was editing was the fact that the San Andreas Xbox 360 port was such a buggy and broken nightmare. That might be another reason why we want to wait before we pre-order this copy, because we don't know what this one's going to be like. But unlike that port, it seems like Rockstar is putting a lot more care and effort into this remaster, especially since they are drastically changing the controls and doing a huge upgrade on the graphics. I feel like because they're rebuilding the game, it won't have as many issues, but you never know these days. And here's edit number 2 showing that nope, 2K is in fact much worse than Nintendo because they will copyright claim your video for having a couple seconds of the trailer in your video. So there you go, lots of different opinions on how the game looks, lots of different opinions on how they priced it and how they handled the lead up to this game. But personally, I'll probably pick this up for the Switch later on down the road for a discounted price, depending on how it runs, because we all know it should run fine on the other systems, but on the Nintendo console, it's always a crapshoot. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the Trilogy, if you think you'll be picking it up day one or wait till it goes on sale, which it probably will pretty quickly. And of course, like the video, subscribe for more content, and have a fantastic day. See you, everybody.